welcome back. Today marks the beginning of National Fire Prevention Week, and joining us now to stress the importance of proper fire safety and training are Lisa, Dusty, and John from our sponsors at Great Lakes Building Systems. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. I'd love it if you could start off by telling us about Great Lakes Building Systems and the history.
Yeah. Great Lakes Building Systems is a fire security systems integrator. So we have the ability to design, install, and maintain complex fire and security systems for industry, healthcare facilities, college campuses, K through 12 schools, and so on, a broad range of customers that we do have. I've been in the business for about 40 years now, and I worked for a small company that did fire alarm and a bigger company that did fire alarm systems. And I finally left and had enough with the big corporation and opened up my own company.
Okay.
And that was, well, we're going to be 25 years old next April.
Nice.
So we've come a long way.
Yeah.
We currently have about 65 people in the company. We're based out of Buffalo area in Elma on Transit Road. We have a satellite office in Rochester to cover the central part of the state. But we have, again, we have two divisions. We have the building system sales division that sells the new systems and gets them installed. And when that's done, they turn that customer over to our service department, because every fire system has to be serviced at least once a year. So reoccurring revenue and service is very big with us. We're here today because this is National Fire Prevention Week, which is sponsored by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. They are the national organization that writes all the code and standards for fire protection. We call it our Bible. You know, we have to install a system and maintain it per their code and their standard. So we want to recognize here that the need for fire prevention in homes. Dusty and Lisa are going to give you some tips as to how to keep your house and your people safe.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm going to start with Lisa. Can you give us some tips and things to keep in mind regarding smoke and carbon monoxide detectors?
Sure, absolutely. We brought in a smoke alarm and a CO alarm that should be installed in everybody's homes. NFPA code requires smoke alarms to be in every sleeping area. They don't want to say bedrooms anymore because sleeping areas are more broad. You could have a basic room where you could have a bed. Inside every sleeping room, outside every sleeping room, on every level of your home, including the basement. We do recommend having a smoke alarm somewhere in your kitchen, but at least 10 feet away from an appliance, which could cause false alarms.
Yeah.
We recommend replacing the batteries twice a year. We try to make it when we change the clocks back in the fall and springtime. And we recommend testing them once a month by pressing the test button, which is on every smoke alarm. Carbon monoxide alarms, same thing. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas, so it can be very dangerous because you don't know it could be in your home. Couple of things to remember: turn off your gas stoves when you're done cooking. In the wintertime, make sure that your laundry vents are clear from ice, snow, and debris. And also vehicles running, generators running, make sure that they're far away enough outside. Carbon monoxide alarms. We want to make sure that they're outside every sleeping area and at least one on every level of your home. Same thing, we want to replace batteries twice a year, and also test them once a month by pressing the test button.
Okay.
And help save lives.
Great tips there. Dusty, I'm going to go to you to explain the importance of placement and maintenance of fire extinguishers in the home.
So the fire extinguishers should be just like the smoke detector and the CO detector. It should be placed on every level of the home. It should also be placed in the basement, the kitchen, and in the garage. When doing your maintenance on it, you should check it monthly. You want to check the gauge here. You want to make sure it's in the green area. It's charged. That indicates that it's charged. And then you want to make sure that the pin's inserted correctly. And then you just want to look it over. And you just want to make sure there's no dents, it's not rusted or anything like that, because then you may want to replace it. When placing it, you kind of want to place it near an exit and making sure that if you're exiting the building as you're utilizing it. You also want to make sure it's not obstructed. Nothing's in the way of it when you have to use it.
Right.
So when you are going to use a fire extinguisher, an acronym that we use is called PASS. So the P indicating the pin, you would pull the pin. The A is you're going to aim
Mm-hmm.
low. The S, you're going to squeeze. And then the S here is you're swaying, you're going back and forth, sweeping. And so if you're not comfortable doing this, the golden rule is basically, if in doubt, get out and stay out.
Okay, all righty. Let's talk about some of the ways that Great Lakes Building Systems really engages with the community.
Yeah, we do a lot of community service by training people in fire prevention. Lisa does a great job in going to the school systems, K through 12 school systems, training the little kids on how to prevent fires and so on and so forth. Lisa, you want to talk about that?
Yep, we started probably 5-6 years ago before COVID. Started with our family members, children's schools. We'd go into the primary schools, elementary schools, talk to a classroom or two at a time, or the cafeteria would be full of kids. And it's just really fun. I bring smoke alarms in, CO alarms in, a fire extinguisher, and we just have a little question and answer, which is really fun for 4, 5, and 6-year-olds. The questions we get are entertaining, but they're very knowledgeable, and they care a lot about their families and their homes. And then we just send them home with some coloring books, fire safety coloring books, and the teachers ask us, send us some questions too for follow-up, and they love it. We do it a couple times a year.
Really important work you're doing. Thank you so much for coming out during Fire Prevention Safety Week. Viewers, it will be sharing more fire safety tips every day this week for National Fire Prevention Week. If you have any questions or need help keeping your home safe, you can visit our sponsors at glbsinc.com or call the number right there on your screen. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.